Breaking news, Nigerians. Another wahala. Atiku leaves Tinubu in unexpected shock as he sent this shocking to Supreme Court. Nigerians, this is getting tougher and more interesting as well. Welcome back to Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for this coming out here. If you are just joining us, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. The former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who ran as the presidential candidate for the People's Democratic Party (PDP) during the February 25th presidential election, has once again called upon the Supreme Court to cast aside technicalities and allow him to present new and substantial evidence. This evidence supports his claim that President Bola Tinubu submitted a forged document to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Atiku contends that this is critical constitutional issue, especially when it involves a candidate competing for the highest office in the country. In its legal response to Tinubu's objection to the introduction of fresh evidence, Atiku stressed the gravity of submitting a forged document in a presidential election. He firmly believes that such actions should not be tolerated. President Tinubu's objection was based on jurisdictional grounds, among other arguments. He maintained that issues of qualification and pre-election matters and urged the court to reject Atiku's application. Atiku countered President Tinubu's stance by arguing that matters of substance should not be settled during the preliminary stages of the legal process. The applicant emphasized that at this stage, they are merely seeking the Supreme Court's permission to present this new evidence. They insisted that denying this permission, as the respondents have argued, would overly focus on technicalities rather than the core issues. Moreover, Atiku submitted a paragraph affidavit in support of his application. In it, contended that if the appeals court grants the request, there will not be need for further argument. He firmly believes that this evidence demonstrates that the second respondent, that is Tinubu, violated Section 137, 1J, all in brackets of the Constitution by presenting a certificate disclaimed by the institution from which he allegedly obtained it. Atiku also dismissed President Tinubu's assumption that he was inconsistent in his use of names, deeming it irrelevant and trivial, as there is no petition contesting this qualification. He emphasized that presenting a forged certificate permanently disqualifies a candidate irrespective of when it was presented. In summary, Nigerians, Atiku Abubakar is making a compelling case for the Supreme Court to consider his request to present new evidence regarding President Tinubu's alleged submission of forged documents. He argues that this is a vital constitutional issue that should not be dismissed on technical grounds. The court will ultimately have to weigh the argument from both sides and make a decision on this matter. Now, the question is, before now, in Nigeria, have we had issues like this when people forge certificates or whatever? What happened to them? That is another one. And another question is anyone above the law? If eventually, the Supreme Court admits that actually President Bola Tinubu forged certificate, Because according to the Chicago State University, they said the certificate the president submitted to Nigerian electoral body did not emanate from them. And the presidency is telling Nigerians that that does not matter. Whether the certificate the president submitted to INEC was not from Chicago State University, but the question is, did President Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended the Chicago State University? Nigerians, if we keep on doing this, everybody knows that that is against the law. It's against Nigerian constitution. You understand? You don't have to forge certificates for any position. It's wrong. It's really very wrong. If we don't correct these things now, tomorrow all these things will bounce back on us. You just like wait till you do tomorrow go come. What you do today, tomorrow go come they fight you. By then you no go fit get leg when you go take stand, and question these actions. Nigerians are anxiously waiting for the Supreme Court, and many questions are being raised. What is going to be the stance of the Supreme Court? Are they still going to play the same game that was played in the presidential election petition courts? As you can see, Nigerians have lost confidence in Nigerian judiciary, and this is really very bad. This is really very bad for a country. When the citizens do no longer have trust on the judiciary, the electoral body, and all that, now we say the country don't waka be that. Well, let's see how this goes. On Monday is going to be the first hearing of this case. So guys, kindly share your thoughts below the comment section.